It's truly remarkable how marketing teams can shoehorn a brand onto something. If you're not aware, and why should you be really, Cool Spot was Dr. Pepper's red circle with limbs and sunglasses, who for some reason was chosen as the flag bearer for the hyper-sugared, carbonated toilet cleaner 7-Up, replacing Fido Dido in the late 80s. The anthropomorphic circle was a really lazy mascot, cool only in that 90s way of simply putting sunglasses on it, akin to filling Poochie's shades in. Thrown together in about half an hour on a Friday afternoon, just so the work experience kids could bunk off to the pub early. Whether or not this character justified having its own game, in fact several different ones, is open for debate, but what is not arguable is that the laziness of Spot's overall persona was definitely carried over onto its first Game Boy game. The one that you probably remember is not this one. Spot the Cool Adventure, also known as McDonaldland here in Europe, came out in 1992, and 1994 saw Virgin Interactive's platformer Cool Spot. The first time we saw Spot on a portable system was here in Spot the Video Game, and is a board game that is a pretty close approximation to the earlier one, Othello. I didn't massively enjoy that game. It was an okay idea, with AI that rendered the game inaccessible, and this one isn't much better. The rules are not identical, but the overall concept is the same. You have a 7x7 board, and the aim is to either fill the play area with your coloured pieces, or at least have the most spaces occupied once all the spots are taken. This is done by following very basic rules. On each turn, a player selects an existing piece of their colour, and then an empty position 1 or 2 squares away. If the selected location is 1 space away, then a new piece is created in that location. If 2, the chosen piece moves to that new place. In either case, all adjacent pieces that have been laid will flip to that player's colour. Graphically, it's about as good as it needs to be. No boundaries were pushed here, to be sure. It's something of a moot point, of course. Nothing was done that didn't need to be done to make the game playable. There's a weird little quirk that the programmers couldn't have anticipated, however, and it's something that cropped up quite a few times with the dawn of the Game Boy Color and its palettes. That system, and consequently the GBA after it, uses different palettes for static and moving objects. Most of the time this isn't really a problem. You may be most familiar with this occurrence when Ash's baseball cap is a different shade to his body when commencing a battle in the first gen Pokemon games, only to revert to the same colour once the screen wipe is finished. Here, however, because the piece in play counter has an animation, its shading is actually different to the pieces on the board. So if you're playing on a console with a colorized palette, make sure you hold B and left when first turning the Game Boy on to choose the grayscale color scheme, else you're gonna have a hard time. Audibly, Spot the Video Game is pretty dull as well. The whole thing is a basic affair with little variation that is slightly less appealing than the NES version. I have no real sweet tooth and can't really stomach soda drinks. This game is about as synthetic as the drink it's based on. Give me a beer any day. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below, and if you can spare a second, give the review a quick thumbs up, it really helps out. Subscribe to the Portable Power Podcast for a new Game Boy review every day from Monday to Friday. Or alternately, new episodes of the podcast drop every Saturday and Sunday on whichever platform you get your pods. See you later on.